Hello. So as you guys can see, I'm eating. This was just to kind of like mention just a little bit that just to talk on why come closer. Just to talk on why I probably like delayed so much on posting the rest videos concerning being on fire for God. One, a lot of changes happened. So I wasn't able to be as consistent as I was, which, well, I don't know if I've ever been able to be consistent. But anyways, we're working on that because it takes a lot, especially when you don't have the best equipment to edit or you struggle with space, and it's a lot. But one of the main issues was because it didn't make sense for me to talk about being on fire for God, but yet still be struggling to gain your fire for God. You know what I mean? Um, when I came back from a conference, I knew my fire went down and I was supposed to gain it back. And it was such a huge struggle to just gain back my fire. And it's still been a bit of a struggle. I'm still trying to find my schedule, my place. So that's why I've not really been posting because it really felt hypocritical. But I feel like I don't want to say the perfectionist in me because I'm a person who I believe God has used to speak to several Christians. I always talk about Christians don't do this, Christians are supposed to do this, Christians are supposed to. So when you are someone who is always like that, who God has put that burden to call Christians back to order and stuff like that, and then you feel like you're not really living. It's not that I'm sinning or I'm living in any drastic. No, I'm just saying I'm not on fire as I should be. You know what I mean? So when I'm like that and I'm still trying to get my fire, still trying to be consistent, sometimes it feels hypocritical to talk about how to be on fire when I'm struggling to be on fire. I feel like I could talk about it because I've lost my fire before. I gained it back, lost it, gained it back. So because of experience, I can pretty much talk about how to gain your fire back, which sometimes I look back at my videos and it helps me. And I look at my videos and I'm like, it's just based on experience. I take my same advice, of course, but sometimes it felt a bit hypocritical, and that's why I had been struggling to kind of like post because I didn't want to. It it just there's this thing in me that only wants to post when I'm good, as in when I'm perfect, when I'm on fire, when everything is good, my Bible study is straight, my prayer life is straight, everything is just bam bam bam. Then I want to create content because obviously I still feel like if when I create content in that state, I'm more spirit aligned. And I'm able to communicate God's heart in a better way. You know what I mean? But still doesn't mean that what I'm saying is that it doesn't mean that I can't create content anymore. I feel like there's this thing in me that's saying, no, if I'm not perfect, if I'm not good with God, if I'm not straight or something, um, I can't create any content. I have to be perfect. I don't say the perfectionist in me because I don't feel like I'm a perfectionist, but I do feel like I'm a person who likes to do many things with excellence and order and straight. But yeah, I feel like God has been very graceful with me, very patient with me, and also telling me that hey, because you're not in your best place spiritually, doesn't mean you cannot give advice to some people, or you know what I mean. I'm not saying that we should be pouring into people when we are empty. I believe that when you are empty or you feel like you're really dry and you really need like a break, take your break. Oh, my brother, my sister, take a break. Can't be praying for a romantic cup, right? But I'm saying my journey to gaining back my fire is taking a while. It's a process. It's slow. It's a struggle. And sometimes I don't really want to give a huge pause to my YouTube channel because of this. And I feel like God is being very graceful and patient with me, telling me, you're not a hypocrite. You're just a normal Christian who passes through the highs and lows in life, where staying in the secret place is sometimes easier and staying in the secret place is sometimes more difficult. I'm reading a book concerning the secrets of the secret place, and it's really helping me. And I feel like God is speaking to me a lot concerning through that book. And so that's why I've been delaying a lot posting, because I felt like, I have to be good 100%, have to be well before I post. And God is telling me, like, hey, chill, chill. It is a struggle as long as YouTube, you're not putting it before your secret place, or you're not putting it before God. You can be posting slowly, take your time. You don't have to be perfect before you post anything, but just make sure you are genuine. Just make sure you're genuine, and make sure that your heart is in the right place. So that's why I took a bit of time to post, because I feel like I had to have my whole life figured out or everything together before I could post. But not really. Not really. God doesn't expect you to be a finished product before He uses you. He starts using you even as you're getting formed, despite maybe not being a finished product. Nobody's a finished product. Anybody in this area is not a finished product. So, but yeah, kind of felt to be like a hypocrite. I'm like, no, God, I'm still struggling a bit. Like, how am I supposed to talk about to people about getting your fire back? But this is not necessarily about me saying that I know everything and that I'm perfect at it. This is lessons that I've learned, which I still follow. Honestly, when my fire goes down, I go back to what did I see before, and I follow it, and it helps me. So if it can help me, it can help you. And we're just here as Christians to help each other to gain our fire back. So yeah. Okay. Bye bye.